I'm panicked. I am absolutely panicked.
Where Bernie Sanders went in as the front runner, he didn't take much fire, and the man they're all running against, Donald J. Trump, hardly took any fire at all.
Get off scot-free. I thought the two big winners last night were Bernie, because he's on his way to locking up this nomination if things keep going the way they are, and Donald Trump, who nobody laid a glove on him. They were too busy tearing each other to shreds.
To pick up on your point, the big winner in spades was Donald J. Trump. He was most concerned about Bloomberg. He is salivating at the thought of Bernie Sanders. Joe, is anybody anybody panicked besides me in that it does look like Sanders is rolling and that 2/3 of this country thinks we're going in the right direction, and you have a guy who wants to burn it down? To me, I just don't see him having any shot in a general election. I'm panicked. I am absolutely panicked.
Long campaigns give you a better fighter. If these guys have to compete in all 50 states, it means they're opening up offices in places that usually get ignored. They're going to Kansas, they're going to Illinois, they're going to Indiana. I think the longer they fight, the better this goes for the Democrats.
But then they're dividing.
It'll have a stronger fighter at the end.
Yeah, we'll see. We hope so.
Work for
It
Barack.
was an unmitigated disaster, and Bernie and Trump won the night. And I think the Democrats know and made the case that not only would a Bernie nomination reward Trump at the second term, but a huge mandate to just wreck the rule of law and everything else he's on the path to. But it would be the end of the Democratic Party. You can't nominate a socialist and come back within generations.
A Democratic socialist. That is not the same.
Whatever.
It's not a whatever. You could like Bernie Sanders or not, but you have to give
Trump
the
will
senator.
say we're going to be Venezuela, and everyone will believe him.
Fine. Let's leave it there.
I'm panicked. I am absolutely panicked.
It was a circular firing squad if I ever saw one. But with their knives out for each other, did they miss an opportunity to strike at the ultimate target at the very moment in his presidency that he's most emboldened and seemingly rising in popularity? Some candidates thought so.
I think the main thing is that I wish we had been talking more about Donald Trump because these personal slugfests, I'm not sure they benefit anyone. And so my hope is that while debates are about contrast, that the next debate is a little bit more about him and what he's done and why we need to replace him.
The real winner in the debate last night was Donald Trump. Because I worry that we may very well be on the way to nominating somebody who cannot win in November.
I'm panicked. I am absolutely panicked.
The night that was particularly striking. I mean, we all saw the fireworks, and if people didn't watch it, they read about the clashes, most famously now probably the attacks on Mike Bloomberg from Elizabeth Warren. But the regrets expressed just minutes after they left the debate stage are something I've never seen before. Have you?
For many moderates in the party, last night was a disaster because they were hoping either Mayor Bloomberg would take control of the race or Mayor Buttigieg or Senator Klobuchar or Vice President Biden would take control of the message in that wing of the party. Instead, it remains scattered. It remains balkanized in the centrist wing of the Democratic Party. And Senator Sanders, when you look at national polling, continues to surge ahead. And ahead of Super Tuesday, when 14 states will vote, that puts a lot of top Democratic establishment types in a complicated position. Who is actually going to be their standard bearer in the long run?
I'm panicked. I am absolutely panicked.
Sanders is a front runner, but so he's got, 27 in a national poll, 49%. Are split out among all of the moderates. So he's actually an incredibly weak frontrunner in terms of not actually having the support of a majority. And I say this as someone who still has PTSD and wakes up in the middle of the night with sweats over the 2016 Republican primary when the exact same thing happened. And I asked Jeb Bush when he sat in that chair or other Republicans, Chris Christie, was it a mistake to go after each other? Chris Christie killed Marco Rubio. Ted Cruz killed Jeb Bush. I mean, the same thing happened last night. Elizabeth Warren may have finished off Mike Bloomberg. Okay. Mayor Pete may have finished off Amy Klobuchar. Okay. But as Bob Costa just said, they strengthened Bernie, who a lot of people on both sides of the aisle think Trump can beat.
Look, we've seen this movie before. We saw it in 2016, and it ended with Trump as the nominee and now president. I didn't see anything on that stage last night that changed the basic tenor of this campaign, which is that Sanders is still a factional candidate, but he has the biggest faction. And no one else can cobble together a bigger one.
Right.
He's going to be the nominee unless something fundamental changes. And there are people on Twitter and elsewhere who enjoy watching Bloomberg getting beaten up. And he's got a trident sticking out of his chest right now. He's gotten beaten up so much. But the point is, it doesn't really matter because Sanders is ahead. And Warren was attacking the one guy she can't get voters from in the first place.
I'm panicked. I am absolutely panicked.
I thought it was a great night for Bernie Sanders. I thought it was a great night for Donald Trump. I thought it was a terrible night for the Democrats. And I don't think Bloomberg's bad night is going to matter, given the amount of money he's spending on the ground, given the fact that a lot of voters who are going to matter later are not really watching debates. They have his presence on Facebook. And on the ground, anecdotally, I cannot believe what I'm hearing about the money he's spending in all the right places with food and other things, meetings, not just those digital ads on social media. So I think he will still be in very strong stead throughout the very consequential month of March. Tonight was the night to knock down Bernie, and the Democrats didn't do it. Pete Buttigieg tried a few minutes, but not effectively enough.
I'm panicked. I am absolutely panicked.